I used to look down my nose at the American League. Sure, they have some cool historic teams like the New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox, and the Cleveland Indians. I mean, the Cleveland Guardians, whatever that means. But they had a designated hitter, bat for the pitcher, which I thought was lame. I think all players should play both offense and defense, no matter how much they suck at offense. But in 2022, the National League adopted the designated hitter rule, which sucks, because I have no reason anymore to look down my nose at the American League. But I still do. You might be saying, Bob, don't be such an old fuddy-dud. And my response is, fuck you. Because being a Chicago Cubs fan means you have to cling onto traditions, whether they're good or bad. The Cubs are one of Major League Baseball's oldest franchises. They were founded in 1870, and their original name was the White Stockings. Not to be confused with the Chicago White Sox. You know, the South Side's team that in 2024 broke the record for the worst record? In 1870, they played at Dexter Park by the Union Stockyards on Chicago's South Side. In 1871, they moved to the North Side, to Union Baseball Grounds, which is where Millennium Park is currently located. But a bit of a fire broke out later that year, making them homeless for a few years. White Stockings Park, also called Lakefront Park, also called Lake Park, was built for the White Stockings in 1878. In 1885, they moved back to the South Side, to West Side Park, until 1893, when they moved to West Side Grounds. Finally, they moved permanently to the North Side, to Weeghman Park in 1916, which became Wrigley Field in 1926, their home ever since. One of the White Stockings' notable players was a pitcher by the name of Albert Spalding.
Double turns! Spalding!
Who, in 1876, started a sporting goods store in Chicago, which expanded as a manufacturer of all kinds of sports equipment. Spalding owned the White Stockings from 1882 until 1902, and in 1921, William Wrigley, the gum manufacturer, became owner.
Juicy fruit, the taste is gonna move ya.
The White Stockings adopted the Cubs name officially in 1907, though it was an informal name earlier. It referred to the team's young roster, which must have been a good move because they won the World Series titles in 1907 and again in 1908, defeating the Detroit Tigers both times. But it took them 108 years to win it again, the longest drought in Major League Baseball history. Some blame the drought on the curse William Cianis put on them in 1945, after Philip Wrigley, William Wrigley's son, threw him out of a game because his pet goat smelled bad, which was called the Curse of the Billy Goat. But I already talked about that in a video I did on the Billy Goat Tavern. I put a link in the description. And subscribe and like some of my stuff while you're there. The Chicago Tribune bought the team from the Wrigley family in 1981, and in 2009 the Ricketts family bought the team, which ended the curse of the Billy Goat because in 2016 the Cubs defeated the Cleveland Indians, who are now the Cleveland Guardians, whatever that means, in a thrilling 7-game World Series, highlighted by an 8-7 victory in Game 7.
The Cubs win the World Series! Brian makes the play! It's over! And the Cubs have finally won it all! 8-7-10!
Since then, they've been average, but not the powerhouse team that it was in 2016. I guess baseball in Chicago doesn't really ever change, and when it does, it quickly changes back.